So guys, I think of something interesting. So let's do this. Now, let's try to turn this head into a female head. It will be very cool. Exercise. And I will, when I'm doing this, I will tell you what are the differences between female and male head, and we will see if we will be able to make it. I'm not sure I will be, but we'll try it. Just Shift D to duplicate it. So Aaron Hernandez, we will write here female, which is female, and we will hide one of the heads, and we will start. So first difference, very important, is the thinner neck. As you can see, the neck is much thinner than the jaw, and then longer neck also, and very much those the neck also from the side view will be much thinner, especially from the back. So from the back, very much thinner neck, and you will see how the head is kind of bumping, the back part of the head is much more pronounced and bumping, which is normal. And see, he's looking already more feminine with this thinner neck. Of course, no Adam Apple, kind of. It can have a little bit of a bumping here between the sternocleidomastoid muscles, but it's not too much. Also, the traps are kind of going very much slightly like this, and also the overall neck doesn't have such big musculature, and those muscles are very flat. In the female, the muscles are not so pronounced. They're pronounced, let's see, they could be pronounced a little bit here in the middle, but yeah, let's see here. Yeah, you can make a little bit of a, you know, two things and a bump between them. Not bump, but dimple, or just indentation between those two things, and you should be kind of fine to make a girl, you know, like this also. Yeah, so this is one of the things. So the square jaw can be on a male or female. There are very beautiful women with square jaws, but the overall chin, you see the chin here of this girl is enormously smaller. Of course, it should be smaller, and we'll see. Okay, you see, now it's much more feminine. Of course, we can make it not so manly. I will smooth it out a bit, and now the chin is looking more feminine. Usually, what I do is I push the chin back on a female. I push it back. So, what my goal is to make, let me show you, nose, lips, chin, kind of going backward line. Now it's not exactly good, but we will get to there. Now, what else? What else we want to do? Not too much temporal lines and those things, I will just flatten them out. And this front part here, I'll flatten it out. We need to have a forehead kind of pronounced. I mean, to have this kind of two parts here on the forehead, but without any temporal lines showing, or at least not too much. As you can see here, there can be kind of there, but they're not there. I mean, you see here, it's very, very smooth around these areas here. Not so many temporal lines. Here, absolutely smooth, because this is a stylized thing. Here, smooth, very smooth, and not a bump here, but very smooth transition on the eyebrows. So let's do this. Smooth transition on the eyebrow. Now, he is starting to look pretty awkward, because he has kind of a feminine forehead. Although, yeah, he has a feminine forehead because it's also like forward. It's not backward like a male. It's more forward. But still, his face features are still kind of, and also the neck is kind of feminine and long and gracious. But his face features are still male. So, what to do? Let's dial down a little bit the jaw. Let's increase the size of the upper lip. Most of the time when we do a beautiful woman and stuff, we want kind of a nice big lips. This is not always the case, but mostly we need big lips. So the bottom lip, the top lip, and also the lip will be a little bit more full, the upper lip. Okay, it's not still femaleish, but it's getting there. So the features of the face here, you see how they are much softer. So now I will smooth the features, and then I will make the cheekbone more pronounced. And it's not the bone, this is cheek fat. The cheek fat here of the female is mostly a little bit more, you know. That's why I'm doing it like this. And what is left is the nose is a little bit too rough for a male, so I will make the nostrils a bit smaller and the nose itself a little bit smaller and the front part also smaller, and smooth this kind of a bony area here. Everything in this area should be smoother in a female, and it's starting to look a little bit like a female, but not too much. So we need more work. The best thing we have to go is the eyes. Let's try to make them a bit better. And also the chin is still a little bit wide. Let's see here. You see the chin, how kind of a narrow it is. So let's make it even narrower. The mouth smaller. Maybe the jaw itself, the bottom jaw itself will make it a bit smaller. And on the sides, the angle will be steeper. And we need to make it a bit smaller, the neck also. It's looking very awkward now, because probably the nose from the side view, we have to push it a bit and make it kind of going up like this. But it's not super necessary. This is not exactly a big, you know, a big deal. Maybe it will not be the best looking female, but whatever. So, what else? I will push the whole thing of the whole mouth area with the nose a little bit forward. And we'll see how it will do. A little bit more pointy nose. And the mouth, I will push it up a bit. And maybe the upper lip should be more forward pronounced like this. Yes, this definitely is making it look better. But overall, in the beginning, the most important things are thin neck, thinner neck. Of course, here I will make it even thinner. The muscles of the neck not so pronounced, very much flatter muscles. I will leave the square jaw for now, because this girl has a square jaw and she looks pretty awesome. But overall, it's starting to look like a girl. Of course, here the eyes, they are a little bit, you know, on the male, never do cat eyes. But on the female, just push the corners of the eyes a little bit more up. And then, here, make sure those eyes are not going over the eyelids. Like I told you, don't do this on the female. Just make sure you have more space here, but overall, make sure you have this this kind of fat pad going above the eyelid, and then let's do a little bit of a, you know, eyebrow, like the girl in the picture. And always use references. You can use a couple of references, but never stay without reference. Reference is always a good thing and always a must. Now it's starting to look like a female, but there is more to want. Okay, I will inflate the lips so they kind of connect a little bit. Maybe the upper lip, I will kind of dig a little bit above the upper lip, but not too much. This is very subtle. This is very subtle change of plane and lightness. So if you do it too much, it will be a disaster. So if you do it a little bit, it will be more realistic. If you do it too much, disaster. So be careful with that. Then we can smooth a bit. And we have to be very careful about this. So now we're having some kind of a line in here, which we don't ever want to have. So what I will do is I will add some meat around here and then smooth it. just to cut this line. I don't want this line. And now it's looking better. Better. And probably, you know, a little bit, maybe I will add here some meat. Overall, we need to have this kind of line which finishes around this area and smooth everything, and we will be completely fine. So now, what I notice, my eyes are too high, most likely, so I will just pull them down. I don't need them that high. And the nose was very long, which we don't particularly want. Also, on the women, the eyes are usually not so deep inside the skull, especially because of the eyebrows are more soft in here, so they're not so pronounced in forward. That's why the eyes, they kind of are a little bit more outward. So yeah, from the bottom, it's like this. They don't need so much protection because they are not hunters. In the time that we were created and over like thousands, maybe hundreds and thousands of years, men were hunters and women were taking care of the children at home. So men has to be more resilient. They have thicker skin, they have more muscles and everything because they go to hunt and to, you know, to make sure they have the everything for the dinner. They're making, I mean, the female are making the dinner, they're cooking it, but the men are finding it. You see the neck, pretty much parallel lines to each other. It's not, let me show you, it's not something like, many people are doing like this, which is wrong. Don't do this. Make it like parallel lines. Even, it will be better if they're like a little bit curved parallel lines, but we'll see. Let's see if we have something like this as a reference. Yes, you see, pretty parallel lines. And the jawline of the female, I always stylize it a bit, so it's more sharp, and then smooth it a bit. But the idea is that I need it to be more kind of straight, because then it's looking better, I think. Maybe the chin shouldn't be that thin, but still, you know, there are a lot of things you have to consider, but mostly it's looking, it started to look like a female. Although I have to push a little bit more the upper eyelid here, because it's too pronounced. It shouldn't go too much forward, or it will look manly. And it's not a big issue if some manly features are on a female, but you have to be very careful with that, because most of the time there will be not just some manly features, but at some point it will look more like a man than a female. Now you see, it's looking like a male, like a female, but it's not. Yeah, it's kind of okay. I mean, this is what we can do, and this is what we did. Next, we will try to sculpt a female from scratch, from some of our references. For example, we will use this one, or we will use this one. I like very much, but it's not super cool. It's visible from the side, so it's fine. But overall, what we have is very soft features, small chin, thin neck, much thinner than the kind of a big male, you know. And also on the eyes, around the eyes, you see, you still have this dimple here. Let me show you. If I can catch it with the Epic Pen. Epic Pen is the app I'm using to draw. Sometimes it doesn't want to draw over the PureRef. So this is the forehead, and then it has a dimple in here, and then it has the eyebrow line, but it's small. On the male it could be a bit, you know, a bit more, not too much more, especially no, in some male, like villains or some over testosterone freaks like Hulk, for example, it's super huge, yes, but in female you have to be very, very careful. Also, the noses, they're pretty elegant and small and nice. Here, the nostrils, they should be very tiny and cool. We have this, by the way, is the fat pad here that I'm talking about, this. And it's very, very important you do it. If you do it, and then the eyebrow is like this, and the fat pad is here, and here will be kind of more flat area, and you have the eyelashes, even a male can look like a female only with the proper eye and around the eye area. The eyebrow here to be a little bit more in and stuff like this. All those things can make even a male look femalish. Even only the eyes, you know. So it's pretty, pretty important. Okay, maybe the nose, I can kind of make it a bit not so pronounced, the nostrils, a little bit more baby-like. And this will make her look more feminine. And I can push the mouth a bit. Overall it looks fine, although the ears, I can push them a bit forward. They are too much backwards. And we are kind of done. We have a female. Of course, if you want to make it more femalish, you have to go to the paintbrush. And with black, I'm pressing Control now to draw with black. We can make the eyelashes. If we put real eyelashes, it's better, of course. And then the eyebrows. And then the black area just here, what they are making with makeup, you know. And then only on the corner of the lower eyelid we can make black, like this. And we kind of have a nice thing. We can make the eyes, like the balls of the eyes. And then we can make, if it's black and white, we can just a little bit, and also here on the nose we can just make sure on the ears also, and on the cheeks probably it will be nice to have. Of course, if we put hair, eyelashes, all that jazz, it will be much more feminine. But even with a naked head, with a skin head, the female should look femalish if the features that you put are good enough. And I suggest you make them good enough. I already told you what you need to do. Maybe those shouldn't be that pronounced here, so I'll cut them a bit, but yeah. This could work. Now, okay, you see, this is Aaron Hernandez, but female-ish version. I made it just for 18 minutes. I made it from a male to female because I know what to put. Of course, it's not ultra femalish yet, because from a male, when you make it, it always stays a little bit of a male in there, you know. You have to work more and more and more to make it more femalish. But it's overall looking kind of cool. Let's see it next to the male and just compare them. Guy, male. Okay, male, female. You know, it looks. The chin, neck, shape of the head. By the way, in the female, since the jaw is overall narrower, the top part of the head can look a little bit wider. You know, in my case, when you look at me, you see how my top part of the head and the bottom part of the head kind of one line, kind of like this. You know, it's a little bit, you know, wider here around the cheek. It looks like, but it's not. The widest point should be around here, just in the back here, just above the ear in this area is the widest point. And here the cheek are wide, but the widest point is here. So be careful not to make the cheeks wider than this. It's important. But whatever. So you see what else? The chin, of course, much narrower. Lips fuller. The nose not so much like it's punched, you know, because this guy. And yeah, a little bit nicer, smoother nose. And those kind of this things here that the men have, and the temporal lines, smooth them push them in, make them more round, overall round. Everything is round. Even in my case, if you look at me, it's not this thing is here, but it's not making a huge angle here. It's everything is round. Let's see from below. It's round. Even in the male is round, but in the female is more round. And the female head should be smaller, so I will make it smaller, just like this. So now, and shorter, because she's shorter. And now she looks like his sister, for example, because they have some similar features. Yeah, we cannot not do this. Smaller lower jaw, you know, this lower jaw of this guy is pretty heroic and big. And in the female, it's smaller and, you know, nicer, you know, overall pretty cool. Maybe we can make even the nose, her nose, a little bit smaller. But yeah, I think we have established what is the difference between female and male, of course. And then in the next video, we should make a female from scratch, just to exercise. This one is pretty good from the side view, and she also have a front view, so we can try to replicate it a little bit, but we will not try to do the same, you know. I have here references from different artists, like this, for example, is very cool because you can see some of the shapes inside the face, and it's looking very nice. This is definitely not a scan, it's a stylized kind of model. It's very nice. Also, those are very cool. I cannot tell you the artists, there are so many, but I'm sure that you have seen some of them in ArtStation. What is this? Enter Galactic, Carmen Mavis Rules. Ah, this is from Mavis Rules, yeah. Mavis Rules is a very good 2D artist, but she is also, I don't know, I'm not sure that those are made from her, those clay things, but they're very cool to learn stylized female anatomy. We can make the exercise like this also, if I don't forget, of course. Alright, so I think it's time for us to go to the next video where we'll make a female head. Bye for now.